Hola a todos, Profesor Pablo with Sentence Starters lesson number 32. We want to teach you how to ask the question, how to get somewhere. The question is, in red, ¿cómo se llega? And then you plug into that location or event. Our suggestions are to your house, a su casa or a tu casa. We know that tu is a familiar your. We know that su is the usted formal way of saying your. To the store, a la tienda. Once again, more vocabulary. Al correo, to the post office. A la oficina, to the office. Al baño, to the bathroom. All these lessons are meant for being practical, conversational. You just don't tell someone, oh, this is how you say, how do you get somewhere, como se llega, and then plug in whatever it is that you're going to. You have to teach all these common completions to these sentences. So let's go down the list again on the left-hand column. How do you get to the bathroom? ¿Cómo se llega al baño? To the party, a la fiesta. To the bank, al banco. To the hotel, al hotel. To the airport, al aeropuerto. To the mountains, a las montañas. To the river, al río. To the lake, al lago. To the museum, al museo. To the races, a las carreras. To the freeway, a la autopista. Right-hand column. To the park, al parque. To the movie theater, al cine. To the police station, a la estación de policía. To the hospital, al hospital. To the game, al partido. To the supermarket, al supermercado. To the highway, a la carretera. To the beach, a la playa. To the restaurant, al restaurante. To the ocean or to the sea, al mar. To the school, a la escuela. To church or to the church, a la iglesia. To the statue, a la estatua. To the parade, al desfile. And to the shopping center, al centro comercial. Now you wonder, you see there's a and there's a la and al, and then we had a las with carreras. Well, there are 5 basic ways of saying to. It can be a, like to class, a clase. It could be al, which is a contraction of a and el. It could be a la, it could be a los, and it could be a las. And again, it depends on the word. Like, for example, tienda is singular and feminine, so we use la in front. When you see al, like baño, you know that baño is masculine, it's el baño, but when you take a plus el, we have a contraction and it becomes al. So that's why you have 5 different ways of saying to or to the. There's a, al, a la, a los, and a las. All right, let's practice some from the left-hand column. How do you get to the store? ¿Cómo se llega a la tienda? How do you get to the office? ¿Cómo se llega a la oficina? How do you get to the party? ¿Cómo se llega a la fiesta? How do you get to the airport? ¿Cómo se llega al aeropuerto? How do you get to the lake? ¿Cómo se llega al lago? How do you get to the freeway? ¿Cómo se llega a la autopista? Let's go to the right-hand column. How do you get to the movie theater? ¿Cómo se llega al cine? How do you get to the police station? ¿Cómo se llega a la estación de policía? How do you get to the game? ¿Cómo se llega al partido? How do you get to the highway? ¿Cómo se llega a la carretera? How do you get to the beach? ¿Cómo se llega a la playa? How do you get to the school? ¿Cómo se llega a la escuela? How do you get to the parade? ¿Cómo se llega al desfile? Key point, use su for formal and use tu for your familiar. So su is your formal and tu is your familiar. For example, how do you get to your house? Asking an usted person. ¿Cómo se llega a su casa? How do you get to your house? Asking a friend. ¿Cómo se llega a tu casa? Let's take a look at our examples. How do you get to the river? ¿Cómo se llega al río? How do you get to the museum? ¿Cómo se llega al museo? How do you get to your house? ¿Cómo se llega a tu casa? And again, if that's usted, it would be ¿Cómo se llega a su casa? How do you get to the beach? ¿Cómo se llega a la playa? And finally, how do you get to the ocean? ¿Cómo se llega al mar? All right, the question is, ¿Cómo se llega? There are 5 ways of saying to or to the. It's a, al, a la, a los, a las. What are the 5 ways of saying to or to the? A, al, ala, alos, and alas. Let's look at our suggestions. Let's look at our vocabulary. A su casa, a tu casa, to your house. A la tienda, to the store. Al correo, to the post office. A la oficina, to the office. Al baño, to the bathroom. A la fiesta, to the party. Al banco, to the bank. Al hotel, to the hotel. Al aeropuerto, to the airport. A las montañas, to the mountains. Al río, to the river. Al lago, to the lake. Al museo, to the museum. A las carreras, to the races. A la autopista, to the freeway. Top of the right-hand column, to the park, al parque. To the movie theater, al cine. To the police station, a la estación de policía. To the hospital, al hospital. To the game, al partido. To the supermarket, al supermercado. To the highway, a la carretera. To the beach, a la playa. To the restaurant, al restaurante. To the ocean or the sea, al mar. To the school, a la escuela. To church, a la iglesia. To the statue, a la estatua. To the parade, al desfile. And to the shopping center, al centro comercial. So now we've introduced a lot of new vocabulary. We've reinforced some vocabulary that we've already introduced, practiced and learned. And now we know how to ask how to get somewhere. ¿Cómo se llega? With either a, al, ala, alos, or alas, and then wherever it is that you're going to. Okay, that should do it for lesson 32. Put a check mark by it. How to get somewhere, it's in the books. Gracias por escuchar. Hasta la próxima lección. This is Profesor Pablo signing off. Cambio fuera.